Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. The headlines. President Tinubu joins African leaders at swearing-in of Cyril Ramaphosa as President of South Africa for second term. Federal High Court Abuja Division dismisses fresh application of Nnamdi Kanu challenging jurisdiction of court to adjudicate on terrorism charge. Correspondent investigates challenges of erosion in Nigeria and efforts to remedy land degradation. The fifth president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has been sworn in for his second term in office. President Bola Tinubu was one of the guest heads of state and government who witnessed the inauguration of the seventh administration of the country. State House correspondent Musba Dan Wahab reports.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, could we warmly welcome the President of Nigeria and current chairperson of ECOWAS, His Excellency Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Nigeria has been with South Africa since its apartheid era and still here with one of its long-standing allies. The leader of the largest African country was conspicuous on the roll call as South Africans once again returned to the union buildings where their topmost icon of democracy, Nelson Mandela, took oath of office 30 years ago to begin a democratic journey. The citizens were also joined by other heads of state and government as President Cyril Ramaphosa gets a second chance to lead the country.
So help me God. The President of the Republic of South Africa.
But beyond the inauguration of a new administration, South Africans are equally celebrating 3 decades of their democratic journey, partnership and growth. Now returning to power on the heels of a political arrangement leading to a government of national unity, President Ramaphosa says this is only necessary toward a more effective governance as he promises to heal the divisions of the past and eradicate the inequalities of the present amongst his people.
The voters of South Africa did not give any single political party the full mandate to govern our country alone. They have directed us to work together to address their plight and realize their aspirations.
The re-elected president acknowledged the voices and messages of his people through the ballot and says their will be done through greater dedication to democratic renewal for better social and economic gains.
They have also been unequivocal in expressing their disappointment and disapproval of our performance in some of the areas in which we have failed them. We have heard you. As the President of the Republic of South Africa, I will work with everyone to reach out and work with every political party and sector that is willing to contribute to finding solutions to the challenges our country faces as we transition to a new decade of freedom.
And just like President Ramaphosa, the military displayed their might, rededicated themselves to protecting the nation and its democracy. And not only through the military might, but resilience of the people, the South Africans have seemingly resolved to harness their strength and build a more prosperous country.
Cultures of resilient warriors.
From Pretoria, Musba and Wahab, NTA News.
As part of efforts to implement the Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan, Vice President Kashim Shettima has laid the foundation for the construction of the head office of the Commission in Maiduguri. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jibrila reports that the Vice President also performed the groundbreaking for the second phase of the 44.8-kilometer Jere to Bole road network.
It is an 8-floor structure to provide adequate and conducive office spaces and other state-of-the-art facilities for smooth running of the Northeast Development Commission. The office will continue to roll out demand-driven human capital development initiatives for short, medium and long-term socio-economic benefits of the region.
As we lay this foundation, we do so with a vision of a Northeast that is vibrant, resilient and forward-looking. We do so imagining our contributions to building a nation where every child has access to quality education, why healthcare is accessible to all, why infrastructure supports thriving economies, and why peace and security are the bedrock of daily life.
And I want to urge each and every one of us to stand firm behind the NEDC and give it all the support it needs so that we'll see to the completion of all the projects and ensure that our people benefit from the projects that NEDC is embarking upon and that will embark upon.
There's a compelling need for the Commission to be always in consultative concurrence with the 6 state governments of the sub-region, especially on its priorities and in respect of the areas that need their inputs.
Another milestone project inaugurated by Vice President Kashim Shettima as part of the interventions by the NEDC is agricultural intervention towards boosting food production, processing and food security. The distribution of the agricultural machineries, implements, inputs and other processing equipment is across all the 18 senatorial districts in the region.
Their output, which is expected to increase the value of farmers' hard work and provide opportunities for local processing of some commodities in the Northeast.
At the end, there will be an interfacing committee between the state and the Commission for the equitable and effective distribution and monitoring of these items.
And I want to pray that from here, this foundation should be used to serve the purpose for which it is established.
Let us harness the power of collaboration, innovation, and inclusivity to build a future where every individual can thrive and contribute to the collective advancement of the zone.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the Phase 2.
This is the groundbreaking of the Phase 2 of the Jere Bole 44.88-kilometer road, which passes through the famous rice-producing communities of Galamari, Dusuman, Ngom to Zabarmari and Kadamari to improve production and free movement as well as to enhance security. From Maiduguri, Abdulrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
The Federal High Court, Abuja Division, has dismissed the fresh application of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, challenging the jurisdiction of the court to adjudicate over 7 counts on his terrorism charge. The trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, gave the order at the resumed trial of Nnamdi Kanu in Abuja. Nnamdi Kanu, through the Defense Counsel, averred that his 7 counts were unconstitutional, urging the court to quash the counts. The Defense Counsel alleged that the prosecution failed to disclose the location of the commission of the alleged crimes. The court posited that any further application on the judicially resolved matters since the commencement of the trial will be treated as abuse of court processes. The court equally refused to set aside its earlier orders revoking the bail of the defendant in 2019, pointing out that the Supreme Court verdict on the matter was silent on Kanu's bail. Kanu, while in the dock, objected to his continued trial, alleging that Section 2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act forbids his trial in any court in Nigeria. The Defense Counsel hinted the court on the possibility of initiating out-of-court settlement. However, the Prosecution Counsel, Boyega, Awomolo SAN told the court that he did not have the instruction of his client to embark on any out-of-court settlement with the defendants. Justice Binta Nyako adjourned further hearing of the matter to Thursday, 20th of June, 2024. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested on October 14, 2015 in Lagos. And moving on, over 6,000 square kilometers of land in Nigeria, findings reveal, are affected by erosion, and another 3,400 are highly exposed across Nigeria. And this, no doubt, poses a severe problem for communities, and with increasingly excruciating effects of this on the environment, those affected think it could consume an entire community if nothing is done. Let's join Charles Alpha for the report.
Erosion, one of the surface processes that sculpt the Earth landscape, constitutes one of the global environmental problems man faces today.
See how the erosion has done to the houses around there. All the houses you are seeing, see, they are eroded by the gully erosion.
Like many countries around the world, Nigeria's soil erosion is perhaps one of the major causes of land degradation, which impact on infrastructure and residential homes in most parts of the country.
It has caused economic displacement. People have lost their livelihoods or their access to ecosystem.
From the north to the south, east and west, nowhere is spared. Whether it is active or dormant, gully erosion continues to slowly but steadily erode communities. Residents of communities where gully erosion is threatening their very existence are afraid that they may wake up one day and find out that their communities are completely eroded if nothing is done about it. Ibrahim Suleiman hails from Adamawa local government area. He tells me how his community is constantly being threatened by these menace.
Not only the communities, but most farmlands, so it now led to low yield. And also even road network has been cut off.
The Nigerian government, on its part, is not unmindful of these natural problems.
Land restoration, arresting desertification is a very key element for us to be able to deliver to ensure food security.
When we are dealing with issues of erosion, we have to be proactive and not responsive.
The largest gully erosion in Nigeria is pegged at 66 meters deep, 2,900 meters long, and 349 meters wide. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA NEWS24. Let's take a break now. More reports when we return. Thanks for rejoining us. Economic experts say addressing challenges in the area of product packaging and labeling will go a long way in making locally made goods in Nigeria competitive in the global markets. Details with Alika Banachi Arawa.
In a bid to diversify the economy and drive sustainable growth, increase revenue sources, and create job opportunities in Nigeria, development experts are advocating for promotion of Nigerian products, especially edibles, in the global markets. One of such products is kilishi, a local delicacy made from beef that is gradually gaining international recognition. traders in kilishi production in Nigeria, says if the potential of the product is properly harnessed, it will boost local production, add value to the gross domestic product, and increase foreign exchange earnings.
My business is there for everywhere. So many people, kilishi. So it's there for everywhere for this world. You will see if you go London, Germany, America, any country when you reach, you will see kilishi.
It's very important. Many people they come by, they carry and go London, they carry and go America.
Government intervention and active participation by the private sector, which should include sophisticated technology to improve its quality, are what investment promotion experts says will take kilishi to the global markets.
We feel that if we put in more effort in packaging, labeling, more effort in standardization, quality, more effort also in export documentation, procedures and documentation, getting the exporters to know that we have to do the procedures the way it should be in order for export to work.
Research has revealed that globally, humans consume about 350 million tons of meat yearly. With Business News, Alika Opanachi, Arua.
The Nigerian Customs Service has recorded a 74% growth in revenue generations that amounts to 4.49 trillion naira in the last 12 months. Controller General of the Service, Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed this while giving an update on the activities of the service in the period under review, emphasizing that the magic wand remains painstaking implementation of outlined policy thrust. Kunle Adeniyi reports.
It's time for retrospection in the last 1 year, and first is the amount generated. Nigeria's chief custodian of borders announced that the 4.49 trillion naira generated represents a remarkable 74% growth in revenue collection over the past year. Further breakdown shows 343 billion naira was the monthly revenue collection.
There was a substantial 122.35% increase in revenue collection during the first quarter of 2024 compared to the same period in previous years. These gains were attributed to a number of strategic initiatives. The revenue review performance recovery exercise that we spoke about earlier, which generated over 15 billion naira into the national treasury. The second was the 2.79 billion naira recovered from the 90-day window concession given for importers of uncustomed vehicles.
As regards trade facilitation, the Comptroller General pinpointed the congestion of ports and the reopening of previously inaccessible roads as the major drivers. As expected, he pledged that officers and men of the service will remain uncompromising in the fight against the #1 enemy of trade facilitation, which is smuggling. Kunle Adeniyi, NTA News.
His Royal Highness Zamani Dogonyaro, the Agom of Kachia, has described the district head of Kachia, Alhaji Sabiu Suleiman, as an exemplary leader and peace ambassador who stands for truth, and his fairness is undoubted. Haruna Mohammed reports that the Agom Kachia gave the remarks when the district head Sabiu Suleiman led his community to pay Salah homage on the Agom Kachia Zamani Dogonyaro in his palace.
It begins with Salah homage on the palace of the district head of Kachia. One after the other, council members, including the Deputy Director of News, NEWS24 of the Nigerian Television Authority headquarters, Wada Ibrahim, who is the then Isan of Kachia. In his usual disposition, showing concern to his people, the district head, Alhaji Sabiu Suleiman, and his entourage visited the General Hospital Kachia and other medical facilities in the community, going round from one ward to another, felicitating in the joyous mood of Eid al-Adha with patients on admission. The entourage were also at Nigerian Correctional Service Satellite Custodial Facility Kachia with a promise to pay fines of some inmates for them to regain their freedom.
We are very, very grateful. We are overwhelmed by this kind gesture.
want to appreciate the Hakimi and his entourage for coming, for thinking about the plight of the patients.
Words alone cannot express how we feel, because it's a thing of joy to see the people who are our leaders, our fathers around, feeling for those who cannot celebrate the festivity in their homes.
The visit also to Kachia burial site is to pray for the reposed souls. He acknowledged the selfless service of the watchmen and staff. The district head and his entourage were also at the palace of the Agbon Kachia to pay their Salah homage. Overwhelmed by the acts of humanity and loyalty, the Agbon Kachia could not hide his feelings.
I'm showing my appreciation to him and the entire council and the village head for the support they have been giving to the district head, also to the chiefdom. You can see it shows that we are living in peace.
The occasion is an annual tradition by the district head of Kachia, Sabiu Suleiman, in tandem with looking out for his people towards ensuring peace and development of the community. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Renewed efforts are ongoing in Yobe State to tackle the scourge of kidney disease ravaging its entire north. Over 1,000 new cases are recorded annually, even as government resorts to free dialysis to relieve poor households of the burden of care. Hamin Surogo reports that there isn't one family in the northern Yobe without a case of kidney disease.
The air conditioners are in full blast in this research laboratory, but this young researcher is far from being in a cooling mode. The matter on ground can only produce heat waves for him and all healthcare providers in his native Yobe. There is literally a medical emergency in Yobe State. Its northern window, otherwise identified as Yobe North, grapples with scourge of kidney disease on a large scale. It is a long-standing medical issue that defies intelligent explanation. Again, there is not a family in this entity who have not experience of one of their member or two having a kidney disease. There are no absence of efforts from the state government and major interest groups to understand the root cause of the issue and tackle it head-on. Yet, the incidence is ever more increasing and more ravaging. To understand its scope, as at now, every day, 60 kidney disease patients undergo pre-dialysis at Yobe State University Teaching Hospital and more centers around the state at the expense of the state government, and a patient requires the dialysis twice a week. This figure does not include those who seek remedy on their own. This kidney disease patient is seated on a dialysis chair and shares his experience.
God is our witness. Without this dialysis, most of us will die. Every round of dialysis is 35,000 naira, and in a week, we go through it twice, which translates to 70,000 naira a week. To a poor patient, where could you source 70,000 naira every week for dialysis? But with a gesture from the state governor, we get it free, and it brings us peace of mind.
Yobe North is the most agriculturally fertile region of Yobe State. It is a livestock powerhouse with perhaps the highest density of livestock among regions going down northeast. Research activities question its rich water bodies and fertile soil as complicit in the kidney disease scourge. No conclusions are reached yet. To advance research and find answers to several conjectures, the state government put up a high-end laboratory in place to get to the root of the kidney disease endemic. As well as state-of-the-art equipment, researchers from all over the world are also mobilized to support research, even as training exercises are mounted to advance manpower.
If you can be able to decode all these causes of kidney disease from across northern Yobe, that means it's a plus to the state government, because it's going to get us rid of one of the greatest challenges we have in the northern end, because there is virtually no family that is not affected by one or two cases of CKD, and in most cases there are recorded cases of death. So if you can be able to send to achieve this, then it is one of the mightiest achievements that the state has been battling with.
Well, one of the major issues this center is looking at is senility. Now, obviously, when senility is not very much common here, and we don't hear too much talking about it in our health cycles, it's amazing that this clinic is talking about it. Why not?
Well, it's talking about because it is a global issue. But actually, when you say it's not here, part of the awareness is also not there. The facility to detect and tell that it's here. We cannot say clearly that it is not here, but the awareness is not here, and there are no much data about it here.
As we move out of this center, one of its major promises is that it may eventually find a biological solution to the scourge of kidney diseases that are besetting most parts of the state. It has been a scourge, and it has been a major source of concern, not only for government, but also for the people. So exactly, when research is done on that, it may mitigate the effect on the people generally. And I think that's as beautiful as can be. In Yobe State, Mohammed Hamis Rogo, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA NEWS24. We thank you for watching. I am Mina Daniels.